All right, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is September 27th, and I'm giving the agenda for class right now. So we're going to start off by reviewing the Annie Sanchez interview and looking at her experience starting at BHCC and following a syllabus. Then we're going to review the discussion we had at the end of last class on the English 111 syllabus, which was the assignment that I gave, and I extended the due date because it's a lot of new vocabulary to look at. And then we're going to identify skills needed to pass English 111. So we're looking at that class that you're going to start college with, and we're going to identify each and every skill that you will need. And I've extended the date of that paragraph assignment where you understand those skills needed, just to make sure everyone is on the same page. We'll have our 10-minute break after we do this, and then we are going to review previous instructions, and that's for the last 4 assignments. Most of you are caught up now with your assignments. Some of you are falling behind. So to give everybody a chance who is in class right now, we're going to review each and every instruction, and then use this as practice following instructions on a syllabus. Then we're going to review Google Docs, because you'll be using a lot of shared documents, revising your writing. And then we will begin chapter 1 of this delightful textbook. That is our plan for today. And yes, I'm glad I recorded the agenda because we have some, there we go. I knew it, a flood of students coming in right now. Ilse and Carlos, here they are. Beautiful. Okay. So here come Ilse and Carlos. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And now we're moving. All right. This is one of the activities we did last week. So we looked at an interview with an alumnus, that's somebody who graduated our program. We looked at her story and we identified what it was like for her to go to college and work at the same time. And we're not going to play her whole interview like we did last week, but I want to ask, who remembers some of the things Annie said? What was it like to go to college and hold a job at the same time? She was working in a cafe. Who remembers? Anybody can raise your hand.
Yes, it's Winchell.
Winchell, go for it.
Yes, the things I remember she said about that, she said it's not, she was very honest, but she said it's not very easy when you did or when you do both of them, go to work and go to the class. And she said that is the if you want to achieve your goals, you can't make the sacrifice to do that, but it's not really easy, but that depends you, that you're supposed to know what you want, and that could help you to do both of them. And something else she said, you're not supposed to depend the teacher. You're supposed to make your effort yourself. Do what you can do to move forward. And the teacher in USA, the teacher could be help you to do to move on, but don't depend the teacher. Don't say the teacher will do this, do that for me, but it's you to know what you want and to move forward.
I think what you're saying right now is a great transition into this. She talked about the cultural differences about college in America, and she was from Colombia, but essentially but you're remembering correctly. Who could say more about what Winchell is saying? In America, the teacher will guide you but only to a point. What does that mean? In America, the teacher will help you only so much, and then what's next? Andre, Alejandro, Erica, anybody want to pick up where Winchell left off? Keep going. Winchell, you gave a great explanation. Anna, welcome. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Hi.
Hi. Ilse, you were here last class. What was Annie Sanchez saying about how much the teacher will help you?
I think she said the teacher don't help me a lot. The teacher just give your topics for one day and that's it.
Exactly.
If you don't understand, I'm so sorry, you need to investigate the topic again.
Exactly. So yeah, very big cultural difference. So essentially, if you're not understanding, the teacher is not going to
Push you.
right, exactly, push you and tell you exactly what to write. They're not going to say, here's the test, this is what you have to write on the test. Here's your paper, this is what you must write on your paper. Follow me. That's a cultural difference. The teacher is not going to the teacher will expect you to do basically everything on your own, but they will be there to guide. But you have to ask the questions. And if you don't ask the questions, the teacher is going to move on. The class will move on. The world keeps turning. If you ever heard that phrase, the world will just move on without you. So that's one of the biggest cultural differences. And this is with Annie's situation. She finished college in Colombia. She has a degree, but then she came to America, came through our program, but noticed huge differences going to school in where she's from versus going to school in America. So excellent job, Andre. Good memory. And for folks who did not make it last week, I hear a little echo. I think I'm gonna have to mute somebody. Yep, got it.
Teacher, I don't understand that methodology. How the people know what they have to do?
Oh, good question. You know what I think? So Erica said, I don't understand that methodology. How does a student know what to do if the teacher doesn't tell you exactly what to do? Oh, I see Melanie. Hey, how's it going? Welcome.
Sorry, I'm late. I had
No,
an
you're okay.
appointment early.
You're okay. So as you can see, Melanie, we're picking up where we left off last week. Erica says, how in the world is a student expected to understand what to do if the teacher does not tell you exactly everything to do? So let's take a look at that part of Annie's interview and listen closely. Here we go. I put subtitles on it, but some of the subtitles were not exact.
Ways. So that's better. Okay.
Actually, here we go. I'll start right here. She talked about APA. In Colombia, she would write a paper and the citations were APA. That's American Psychological Association. And then she would switch to MLA.
APA norm, and now here is OMA. So
MLA, yeah.
MLA. So first of all, that's completely different, and was just I have to change my shift or mind and just keep going and try to learn and try to read a lot of things to learn how to do it here, because yes, it's completely different, but here I found a lot of support in every way.
So what she's saying right there, I'm going to summarize. This is part of Erica's question. The idea is should be giving a lot of reading. So each week they'll be given different articles and short stories to read for the English class. And then she will have to read. But then when the teacher gives an assignment, and in America, the teacher will just give a question and ask students to generate original ideas. The teacher will not tell you specifically what to write. They'll ask you to generate your own ideas. That's the critical writing. So they want to see that you're reading and thinking and then coming up with your own interpretation of what's going on, which was essentially the last assignment I gave you with the quiet quitting. What is the writing about? That's the critical writing. The teacher won't tell you exactly what to write or what to say or what to think. And it's a huge cultural difference. If you're coming from another culture where that's exactly what learning is, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. So when you're amongst international students who have a different understanding of thinking and learning, and then this American teacher says, okay, we're going to read this. Now, tell me what you think. It's like coming in. It's like being in another planet. What do you mean? Tell me what I think. You're supposed to tell me what you want me to say. Does that help, Erica?
Yes, teacher. Yes.
So that's what the American professors will start expecting. They'll expecting that you're reading and thinking, and that you're coming with your own interpretation of what it is that they're saying.
Here is the same from the high school, from the middle school. So the American know that from the beginning.
Yes, exactly. So if you're a young person and you're going through middle school and high school, and teachers are already teaching this way and expecting you to teach this way, to think, to operate this way, then it comes naturally that's the cultural difference. Yes, for Americans, this will be a bit more natural. But if you come to from a different background and it's your first experience in a US classroom, it's weird and it's really hard and it's scary. So you have to be ready to essentially think in a different way and study in a different way. Let's look at another point she made. Oh, there we go. So she met the mayor, received a scholarship. Two of my former students right there. Meeting Mayor Wu and how that felt.
Yeah, that was a surprise for me as well. I knew that she's gonna be there, but I thought that was like simple ceremony, but it wasn't. That was an important ceremony, and the honor to receive that scholarship from her was amazing, because it's like see the opportunities that this country have, and she was really nice. She was encourage you to grow up and still focus on your goals and your professional goals. And yeah, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful.
The last question I asked her, what is your advice for El Centro students preparing to graduate? So that's everybody here. What's the advice for everybody here?
Oh, the principal advice is really pay attention and take it seriously, because this is not just I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna receive a certification and that's it. No. Right now is the opportunity to understand how the education works in United States. It's completely different in our countries. It's different. And it's gonna be demanding. And at El Centro, they are really flexible. Um, Teacher George is flexible, but it's not gonna be like that in college. So just take everything in this class and learn a lot how to write, how to use your grammar, and yeah, and you're gonna be fine. And that way, if you focus on this, you're gonna understand very well how college works.
So essentially that last piece of advice is pay attention now. The more you focus on this class now, the easier it will be when you start, because everything that Ashley and I am doing right now is to prepare you specifically for college. That's every moment we are talking to you on the phone, we're texting you on WhatsApp, we're showing you lessons in class. Absolutely everything we're doing right now is preparing you to start college. Even for some of you who are not going to start college, that's 100% of what we're doing right now. So the more you engage with this class, the easier it will be when you do start college. So what I did here is I identified skills that you will need to pass English 111. We started looking at the English 111 syllabus last week, and I've got the recording of us reading it together. It's right here. So we covered the first 3: critical reading, critical writing, and avoiding plagiarism. So I'm going to play the recording of our class this past Thursday, and we'll discuss where we left off. So here we are. We started looking at the syllabus. Now, for those of you, let's review what is a syllabus. That was a new vocab word last week. What's a syllabus? Melanie, you remember, right?
Yes.
All right, tell everybody, what is a syllabus?
As I remember, a syllabus is kind of a protocol the professor gives to the student, and it almost says what they're gonna do the entire year. So the student gotta follow the syllabus to pass the class.
Perfect. Great job, Melanie. And I wouldn't say almost tell students what to do the entire year. It's exactly that. So the syllabus, we don't give a syllabus in the beginning of this class because these classes can be very unpredictable. You probably noticed some students start and they don't finish, and some students come in the middle of the semester to replace those who left. So we can't really write an exact syllabus at the beginning of here at El Centro, because things change as the semester goes. But in college, they know exactly, they tell you exactly what will happen 3 weeks from then. Exactly when the moment you start, they'll tell you the day of your final exam. So you can work ahead and do all your homework ahead of time. That's the idea. They give you exactly a schedule of assignments and a schedule of events. They might make a few little changes. Most good professors do, to make things interesting, but for the most part, they tell you exactly what's going to happen. So the syllabus begins with understanding critical reading, critical writing, and avoiding plagiarism. Let's look at what we learned last week. In the afternoons on Wednesdays. So that means the professor has to be available on Wednesdays. in the office. So if you're having trouble, that means you find out the professor's office hours. If you're confused, you're not sure what to do, then the professor is available on Wednesdays between 4:30 and 5:30. That's what office hours means. So it gives right here the required materials. They'll ask you for a school email. They'll ask you to have a USB, notebook, some kind of device, computer of some sort. And then they give a course description right here. And let's start right here with critical reading. Who wants to read this part right here? Critical reading, where I've highlighted.
I want to try.
Go for it.
Identify the thesis and support evidence, which are sources.
Good.
Evaluate
Or-
supporting evidence and sources for logical flows.
Mhm.
Crack 1, summer 2022 transition program. Evaluate whether evidence supports and sources claim. Evaluate relate strength of compassion's claim on multiple
sources.
results.
Good. So that's called critical reading. And what we were doing in the assignment just now is critical reading, where I was asking you, what is the writer saying? That's critical reading. So you'll read different passages and you'll be asked to identify what's the writer saying here? What's the writer saying here? All right, so good job, Andre, reading last week. We continued that a little bit to further clarify what critical reading was, but I want to hear from somebody who was not here last week. What in the world is critical reading? Critical reading, that's the first skill identified in the syllabus. Anna, go for it.
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try.
Mhm.
And I think critical writing is like you have to write.
Oh,
Eh,
reading.
Oh,
on
the
reading.
reading was still.
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
okay. Like
writing is next. Writing is next.
Sorry.
It's okay. Critical reading. Critical reading.
okay, I think we have to like read and take the important things what we're reading about the document or something, and put our perspective in it.
There you go. There you go. Read and give your perspective, and that can be done in conversation, and that can be done, and that will be done mostly in writing. About 60 to 70% of the class is writing, but you be talking about your writing the whole time.
But
So-
teacher,
Mhm.
Is our opinion, or is what the writing, what is our interpretation or our opinion?
Excellent question. Now, remember when we worked together on last week on that last assignment? The way you can indicate what the teacher is asking is to follow the instructions. So if you're reading a short story or an article and the teacher says, discuss what happened in the story, that's asking to show your understanding. If the teacher specifically says, do you agree or disagree? That would be an indicator of you asking for you to make an argument, a thesis. So great follow-up, Erica, fantastic follow-up from last week. You always want to follow the instructions. They'll give you plenty of things to read. Every week you'll be given something new to read, but the teacher won't, but you don't want to be a robot. I'm reading and I'm thinking, I'm reading and you want to read and then go back to the syllabus and find out what is the teacher asking me to do. Or you can just ask the teacher directly, what exactly do you want me to do here? And a good teacher will say, great question. This is what I want you to do. So always be mindful of what you're being asked when it comes to critical reading. You notice my slide just bounced there. So let's look at critical writing. So yes, Anna, good job giving a definition of critical reading. What in the world is critical writing? Let's look at the recording from last week's class. Here we go. Critical writing. I think it was Winchell who read the bit on critical writing. We got critical reading. We'll skip research. Critical writing. There it is. What's critical writing?
From gathering idea through
This is on TikTok, basically. You have to find credit. Oh, come on.
Results.
Thesis?
Yeah, has she gone?
Yes.
Critical writing. Okay, here comes critical writing. And this is, again, I'm playing the recording of last week. Who wants to read this section? Critical writing.
Me?
That was the recording of me, not me.
Oh,
that was
me,
that
You,
was me last You wanna give it a shot?
Okay.
Okay.
Critical writing. Use a writing process which moves from gathering idea through planning, drafting, revising, and editing. Choose appropriate evidence from sources to effectively support a paper thesis. Incorporate multiple perspectives in discussion of an issue. Prove a paper's thesis through logical analysis, evaluation, and/or synthesis. Apply MLA documentation guidelines from parenthetical citations and works cited.
There you go. This has a lot of fancy words, but to keep it simple, you have to find evidence to prove your argument in your paper and make proper citations. So the reason I'm going over what exactly, it looks like I'm just repeating what I did was just to make it easier. The syllabus can be really scary to look at because when you look at it, you're going to say, there's all these words I don't understand. Don't worry, Americans do the same thing. Not every, when you start college, if you're just out of high school in America and you look at this, you're like, I don't know what this means. What the hell is this? It's scary for everybody. Americans get confused too. So what I want to do in this class is take the fancy academic language and keep it simple. Critical writing means back up sources, you're writing with sources. Make arguments and back it up with sources that are properly cited. So that's what I said there. That's what I'm saying now. I want to get your interpretation. What in the world does that mean? You got all these fancy words right here. You got my simple words there, but I want to know from you, what does it mean? What's critical writing? Who wants to try? Critical writing is what?
let me see.
Go for it, Winchell.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yes, I'm trying, but
No problem.
I think when they talking about critical writing is something when you want to write something, and they're talking about the evidence, and probably before you write, probably you read and just write what you understand or what you think. And if you talking about choose something, you make the description, and when they are talking about evidence, I think probably okay. When you're talking about evidence, if you constate the situation and you're supposed to see what you see and what you I'm lost something here.
Keep it simple. Keep it very simple.
Okay.
Keep it simple. I underlined the first part right there. Use the writing process, which moves from gathering ideas through planning, drafting, revising, and editing. What does that mean?
Okay, use the writing process. Process is follow the syllabus.
That's part of it. Essentially, if you are writing a paper on, if you're writing a paper on the recent construction of the Orange Line,
Okay.
you start out with an introductory paragraph on the topic. Then you read some more, and then you read some more, and then you read some more. And then after you've gathered more evidence, more information, you are able to put more credible insight into the topic over the course of the writing process. So the writing process is each day you have a class, you get better and better. And this should sound like exactly what you're doing with Ashley. You start out little by little, building your writing, getting better and better. And
so the teacher could give us a topic, and then we have to looking for different sources and read different things, and then that's the evidence we have to put.
Exactly.
Where we take the evidence with the information.
Exactly. Now I'll give you an
when you're talking, excuse me, when you're talking about the evidence, you're talking about they give some example.
Who is they?
No, if you write something the way they're talking about give more evidence or multiple perspective, you're supposed to give some example about the subject.
Yes, you're supposed to have read more information from credible sources to back up your information.
Teacher, for example, we have to put the websites.
Yes.
Come from, or for example, a magazine or a book.
Exactly. Beautiful. And that's right there. Citations and works cited. That's what you're talking about right there. Citations. So whatever source you're reading from, if it's a book or a magazine, a documentary, whatever the information is coming from, you'll learn how to cite it in your writing. And that's what the English 111 is all about.
Please, could you remind me, could you remind me what that means when you say apply MLA? Could you remind me what that means?
That is it's a type of citation. I will actually, it's a type of citation that is asked in undergraduate courses. I will actually show you an example. I'm going to send everybody an example on WhatsApp. Here we go, MLA citations. So MLA citation, there you go. So I'm sending this to the whole class on WhatsApp. MLA citations. Okay. I'm not going to go in the, so it's on an example of MLA citations as on the WhatsApp group. I'm not going to use class time right now to give those details, but it's part of the writing process. Now, I'm going to make, I didn't go into the details of avoiding plagiarism last week because I wanted to save that for today. So how is the critical writing process here perhaps different from writing where you come from. Does anyone notice a cultural difference in writing versus where you come from? For some of you, it may be exactly the same.
Sometimes in my culture, you could just get something from the internet or from the book. You just it's not copy paste. You just put that depend. You just put or just write what you get and from the internet or from the book. But here, I think probably is very different. You suppose that everything is from your mind, from you. You suppose when you write something, you're supposed to just say what's your advice, what do you understand, what when you finish to read something, just explain what you understand, what you understand, what your advice about what you read.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Winchell. That's exactly the cultural difference I want to point out. That's where plagiarism comes in. Very likely, many of you come from a background where writing is what we call transcribing. If I read something, I process it. It's expected that I am writing what I have read, almost identical to what I have read. If I come from a different background, that's the writing process, and that's what I'm expected to do. It's very different in America, where you will be punished for doing that. And I actually mean punished, like there's consequences for taking what you're saying is writing what you get. You look up an article. Let's say I'm writing about the Orange Line construction. I read an article in the Boston Globe. I look at what I read, and I write pretty close to the same of what I just read, and then I hand that into the teacher. That's going to be called this: plagiarism. So if you heard exactly what Winchell just said, she really identified it exactly. Plagiarism is one of the biggest cultural differences that you might experience, and it's a brutal cultural difference. If you read an article and what you write looks almost the same, that's plagiarism. So what Winchell said, you have to take the information and use your brain to write something original. That's the American or Western way of doing it, and it's a long process. If you get it down now in this class, you'll avoid a lot of trouble, and I mean serious trouble, when you get to college. So let's go into the syllabus itself. Here we go. Let's look. Hello. Is that Winchell?
So, yes,
Hi, Winchell.
before you move, I need to talk about my chairs of mine. Well, that is probably that is expression. What do you mean about this expression? My chairs of mine. But when you use your brain for chairs, you know what does mean chairs. But when you said my chairs of mine,
I'm not
probably
sure.
that is something else.
I think no. I think are you talking about what Annie just said?
Yeah, I need to say my chairs of
Oh,
mine.
that was the automated subtitle mistake. Change my mind.
You just said chairs. That is
Yeah. That was a mistake. That was
that is mistake. Okay.
It was the computer the subtitle, the automated closed captions. That was kind of funny. Another funny one, when I said mayor, it said marijuana. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah,
when you talk about you get the scholarship to go to college, and
not everybody gets that. She got it.
What score? Yes, what score you supposed to get it to get the scholarship?
Oh, to get award a scholarship, you have to be at least a 90 or above. Show that you are like an A, 90%.
Okay.
And it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. You have to be recommended. You have to show exceptional ability that you work really hard. So there's no guarantee of any scholarship, but several students who apply do receive. So let's take a look at the syllabus. Following the syllabus, here we go. We looked at critical reading, we looked at critical writing. Now we are looking at plagiarism. What in the world is plagiarism? Plagiarism. Come on. Oh, there it is. Okay, so critical reading, critical writing, avoiding
Professor,
plagiarism.
are you asking to answer about plagiarism or just to read?
We are going to do both. Would you like to? I'm about to ask for volunteers. Melanie, would you like to be the volunteer to read this excerpt of about plagiarism?
Okay. A word about plagiarism. An important part of this course and almost every college course is reading and responding to written texts. Thus, you will often need to incorporate the ideas of others on your own writing. If any part of your paper is based on another source, you must acknowledge this source. If you don't give proper credit, you have committed act of plagiarism. This is serious. To guard against plagiarism, you need to know what it is. There are basically three kinds of plagiarism. The first and most obvious is copying word for word from another source without using quotation marks. A second kind of plagiarism is summarizing and paraphrasing the ideas of an author without giving credit to the author as source. Additionally, a third type of plagiarism that students must be aware of is using an editor, whether a friend, family member, or tutor. While it's acceptable, even encouraged, to solicit input about one's writing from others, if a paper does not reflect the knowledge and or style of the student author, plagiarism may be the result. The bottom line is this: you must give credit where credit is due. You must not take credit for work that is not your own. Improper or inadequate documentation will
Yeah,
often lower a paper score. In that case of plagiarism, however, no credit is given for the paper.
Beautiful. So Melanie did a good job reading the whole long paragraph, but what I did was underline what this professor identified as the three most common types of plagiarism. So plagiarism, in a sense, it's stealing, it's taking something that's not yours and taking credit for it, but it's cultural because, as Winchell eloquently pointed out, in some cultures, you're supposed to plagiarize. You're taught to plagiarize. Plagiarism is writing. There's no, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. I've taken some college classes overseas, and when I went to China, you were supposed to copy what the professor told you, memorize it word for word, stick every word into your head, and that was a sign of good academic skills. You get in trouble for doing that in America. So what is this first type of plagiarism right there? If any part of your paper is based on another source, you must acknowledge the source. I'm sorry, first type is this one, what Melanie said, copying word for word. That's obvious, but what does that mean?
Just copy and paste in our
Right,
doc.
exactly. So you copy it word for word. So that's the first most obvious type. And you can catch that very easily on Google. You, as a teacher, you read it and you say, this doesn't sound like my student. And then you do a quick Google search and you go, oh, now I see where my student got it from. That's usually the most obvious one. The less obvious is this one. summarizing and paraphrasing ideas of an author without giving credit. That's tricky. You're supposed to show that you can summarize and paraphrase. We were summarizing and paraphrasing last week, but in your paper, if you don't mention where the idea came from, that's plagiarism. So it's showing where you got your information. That's where citations come in. And the third type, this one is more of a lucrative style of plagiarism, using an editor, whether a friend, family member, or tutor. It's okay to find a tutor, but where can a tutor go too far? What is that one? Basically, oftentimes this happens when we have mother and daughter, father and son students at El Centro. Mother came to America 5 years ago and notices that her son is much better at English than she is. She has a paper to write. Hey, can you give me a couple paragraphs here? Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, lots of English I don't understand. Thank you. Good. Here's some. Okay. Yeah. You'll definitely get that iPad for Christmas. Thank you. So that is getting someone else to write it for you. That is cheating. And it's very, very common. So 3 types of plagiarism they usually see: just directly copying, or the easiest type of plagiarism, I'd say the most innocent, is paraphrasing or citing an idea, but then just not mentioning where it came from. And then there's, hiring someone to do your work for you, and then saying you did it. So like if I told Ashley to teach all my classes for me, and then I said, I did it, pay me for teaching my classes, that would be cheating. That would not be fair. So that's plagiarism. Does everybody understand plagiarism? Okay, so here are those skills. Critical reading, critical writing, plagiarism. Now these last 3 I saved to finish up before the break. Follow instructions, follow the schedule, discuss assignments in groups. If you look at the last part of the syllabus, that's the most important part. The first 3 pages are the general concepts. The last 3 will show you exactly when your assignments are due. And this was for the summer class. But if you go all the way down, this is how your grade will be calculated. So you want to be somewhere in here. You want your grade, you don't want your GPA to fall down there. It'll be very hard to, it'll become expensive to finish college. It'll be hard to apply for scholarships. Or if you fail, you have to take a class again, and that's very expensive. Universities are very good at getting money from people, so don't pay when you don't have to pay. All right. So this is how. All right. This is what they give you grades on: literary analysis essay, argumentative essay, comparative essay, journal essay, class participation, group activities. All right. Tell me which one of these is speaking English. Which one?
Class participation, group activities.
Right. And in my opinion, this isn't so much, this is, right. So, exactly. So to pass English 111, how much speaking is involved and how much reading and writing is involved?
Speaking.
20%.
20%, exactly. 20% involves speaking English, 20%. So I think that's something I wanted. Many students, I'm gonna actually mute somebody there. Okay. Many students at El Centro have an idea in their head. All I have to do is come to class and speak English and I will pass. No, no. 20% involves speaking. And even that, it's not speaking like in like here, where you can just come and say, hi, my name is George. I'm from Venezuela. I love peaches. What's your name? That is not speaking in this class. You have to show that you are actually reading and writing and doing the work. And that's the speaking. So speaking is only 20%. So everything else is turning in your assignments. It's all reading and writing, and it's all turning it in on time. 80% following your instructions, reading and writing, turning it in on time. So that's why you see Ashley and I always saying, you haven't done your assignment. You haven't done your assignment. I don't care if you come to practice your English. That is not going to help you pass college. Nobody cares if your English is good or bad. They only care if you do the work. That's the reality. All right. And this is a further breakdown of how they grade the papers. And here's the most important part. Day one, first class. This is what they do. Homework. So you know what the first assignment is. Then day two, homework. You know exactly what the next assignment is. Day three, homework. That's when your second writing assignment is due. And if you can stay with it, turn in every assignment on time, you will pass the class. As long as you are showing that you can follow instructions, do the work, continue, read and write, and turn everything in on time, you will pass the class. All the way down to final essay submission. Boom. So the moment you get your syllabus, look at the schedule, plan ahead so you don't run into trouble. So that's the most important part of the syllabus, looking at every single due date. Now, following instructions, following the class schedule. That's what that is. Then the speaking is discussing assignments in groups. That's that 15 to 20% of the grade. So let's look at all these skills. It's 11 o'clock. We'll finish this when we come back. Time for our 10-minute break. 10-minute break. Okay, everybody, good work. Get a cup of coffee. Mhm. 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 Okay, welcome back, everybody. So that was a nice breakdown of all the skills needed for English 111 in your first class in college. So what I want to begin doing right now, and then move into breakout rooms so you can discuss with each other, discuss which one of these skills you yourself find to be the biggest challenge. For instance, maybe you have a problem following instructions. Maybe that's really tricky for you. Maybe you will have the biggest problem following the schedule. A lot of you will find that difficult because you have families and you have jobs. Maybe the discussion in groups will be your biggest problem. Even though that's only a small percentage of your grade, maybe you're not comfortable speaking around people you don't know. If you participate in the breakout room discussions here, you should actually be okay with that. But everybody is different. Maybe critical reading or critical writing will be your biggest challenge. Maybe avoiding plagiarism will be your biggest challenge. Right now, I want to invite you to share what will be your biggest challenge in English 111. Anybody? Go for it, Winchell. Tell us, what will be your biggest challenge?
I thought the two things. The first one is I'm start with the last one, discuss assignment in groups. Sometimes when you cannot organize your ideas, and probably they will judge you, but because I don't want someone judge me, and I sometimes just shut my mouth. I don't say anything. That's why I think that is one big challenge for me. And I'm talking now about critical writing, and probably sometimes you could understand something when you finish to read something, and when you write something, probably you understand is in your mind, but to write properly and put that in sounds on the paper, that is not really easy. Probably you say, oh, if you do it like that, the teacher will judge me. Is better don't write anything, just leave it like that. That is, I think that is students for my big challenge.
Okay. I want to tell you right now, Winchell, I think you're doing very well discussing in this class, and I think everyone here will agree. You're adding a lot of helpful insight.
But when they finish, when they judge you, that is very big deal when someone judge you.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Let's thank you, Winchell. Let's hear from somebody else. Nashley, would you like to share? I see your hand up, Nashley. Perhaps Nashley is not there. Anna, what do you think will be your biggest challenge? The reading, instructions?
I have three.
Okay, tell us.
Yeah, the critical reading and the critical writing. I think I have to improve in my general culture, and also in my some words, I have to get more vocabulary. And to follow instructions sometimes is hard, because if you have like a limit of words that I have to write, or paragraphs or things like that, if I would like to write too much, I'm gonna pass the limit. Or if I don't have any words to write the amount that I have, that's gonna be short. And I think that is hard to follow instructions sometimes. And I knew that when I was doing some homeworks here, because we have instructions and sometimes I didn't follow them.
I put a star there, Anna, because I think that I'm now going on 3 years at El Centro pretty soon. And that is, I think, the most common challenge for students at the upper levels is following instructions. So the teacher gives you an assignment to do one thing and the student will do something totally different. And sometimes I use a metaphor, like imagine if you're at a restaurant, you're the chef, and somebody orders somebody orders a quesadilla, and then you make a and you make them a plate of pasta and say, here you go.
Yeah.
I say, what do you mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it.
That happened to me.
You're not alone. So that's really good to be mindful of these things now. Fantastic. Let's hear from one more person and then we can go into breakout rooms. Would anyone else like to volunteer? What will share your biggest challenge of all these?
Can I say?
Please.
It's me, Adila.
Hey.
Yeah, I would like to say that the critical writing is difficult because the construction of sentences in English is not like in my native language. And also, yeah, vocabulary, we have to fill the vocabulary, fill up with new words that can help us to describe our opinion better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So everybody take a look at all these: critical reading, critical writing, avoid plagiarism, following instructions. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to screenshot this, send it to everybody in WhatsApp, just so you know, you can follow this as a guide in breakout rooms. So right now I'm sending everyone into breakout rooms. I want to know your biggest challenge. I've just taken a screenshot here. Your biggest challenge when you get to college and take English 111. What will your biggest challenge be? Here is the WhatsApp group, and I've just sent all those skills that we've gone over today. I'm just sending it now to the WhatsApp group. So there we go. Level 6, for everybody who is not here today, this is what we're discussing in breakout rooms right now. Here it is. That's a screenshot. Among these skills, what will be your biggest challenge in English 111? There it is. We've gone over that entire syllabus. What will be your biggest challenge? Okay, so I'm going to put everyone. Oh, Marie, yeah, go for it.
I sent you a message. I don't know if.
Okay, I'll take a look in a minute. I'm going to send everybody into breakout rooms right now. Here we go. So you know exactly what to discuss. Your biggest challenge for English 111. I'll make 3 breakout rooms. Okay, go. right, fabulous, fabulous, wonderful conversations, everybody. And I think every one of you is in better shape now than you were when you woke up this morning.
Mhm.
So, Leo, man, you need to stay muted. I'm muting you. Stay muted. Okay, good, good, good. All right. So now I'm going to show everybody the assignment on Google Classroom. 4 of you have completed it already. Fantastic. I extended the due date. And because I believe that we need a little more time with it. So here's the assignment. Following a syllabus. And here's the instructions. Now we have all gone through in detail the entire English 111 syllabus. And I'm going to ask, in terms of following instructions, who can tell me what I'm asking you to do for this assignment?
Like you have to write what skills you have to improve to pass the English 111, but you should to write them just in 45 to 60 words.
There you go. On a separate Google document, identify what skills you will need to pass English 111 when you start college. Keep your writing in a short paragraph, 45 to 60 words. Very good, very good. So this is the following instructions part. Many students will just look at all of this and say, oh, a bunch of English. I'm going to ignore it. And what happens in college if you do that?
Bad grade.
Yeah, you lose a lot of money.
Oh, see.
That's a very expensive habit. Just ignoring the instructions. You lose thousands of dollars. The school takes your money and they don't give it back. That's so don't think about oh, I don't want to think, don't think about, oh, I don't want to read this English. I don't want to try to understand it. Think about, this is the most expensive place in the world to get an education. I don't want to give up more money than I have to, because every time you ignore your instructions, you're likely to fail the class and have to start all over again. So, and some of you have experienced this. It is not fun.
Not at all.
Not fun, not fun. So that's what it means. Read the instructions. So I have done something very different here. You're looking at my Google Classroom page as the teacher. I created a fake Google Classroom page as a student. So you can see exactly what your page looks like. And I will show you exactly what to do. Here it is. I created this Gmail account, called it Teacher Demonstrations. So here I go. If I need to write my paragraph on a Google document, what should I do? Well, first, if I need to find Google Classroom, what should I do? Winchell, we went over this together. Can you tell everybody?
Sorry, say that again, please.
So Winchell, you and I did this together. We went over this. If I'm in my email and I need to find Google Classroom to do my assignment, what should I do first? I'm pointing at it.
Attachment, you say attachment?
Nope, before that. I'm not in Google Classroom yet, Winchell. What do I need to do? This is for everybody who's having trouble with Google Classroom.
Google Drive.
Yes.
No.
And what do I click?
And the 9.
This point.
Yeah, the 9 dots, or it's called the waffle. Yes.
How is it called?
Another name for it is the waffle. I don't remember. Yeah, but I just call it, you can call it the 9 dots of the waffle. But that's where all those Google tools are.
Okay.
So every day you should be looking at your Google Classroom page so you don't miss anything. And that's the habit to get into so you don't waste your money in college. So where is Google Classroom? There it is. And now this is what it looks like as a student. So there it
Yeah.
is, level 6. And what's the assignment I have to do? Okay. Following a syllabus that's due Thursday. I moved the date up. Okay. And then I look at this and I say, oh, so much English, so much English. I don't want to read this. I don't want to understand this. Some of you do this. They look at the assignment and say, oh, a bunch of English. I will just press turn in without doing it. Some of you do this a lot. I'm not going to name names, Cleomane. I'm not going to name any names, Cleomane. Some of you just open it and press turn in without doing it. And I will never name a name of a student to embarrass you, Cleomane. So what do I need to do? What do I need to do? So there it is. Follow the assignment. What should I do first?
Add or create.
Add or create.
There you go. There you go. So I add or create. And the assignment is to write on a Google Doc. So which one do I press?
Docs.
That's it. Beautiful. I create a new Google Doc. And I've already actually done this. I think this was when I was helping you out with Shell. So there it is, following a syllabus, and I start to write. I'll begin writing. Okay. The biggest challenge I will have in English 111 is, and then I finish my writing. Now there's a word count. You can go up to tools, press word counts. Okay. I'm at 10 words now.
Well, if I want to if you want to send that to someone, what you do?
Hang on one second. I'm going to show you the features. A few more features. So as I'm writing, the biggest challenge I will have in English 111 is following instructions. That's my first sentence. And then I write the rest of my paragraph. Now, let's say I have a problem with my grammar. Okay, so what are some of my problems here?
The grammar.
The big
The
challenge.
Oh
red
yeah,
line.
I'm a mess, right? I got all kinds of problems. I don't know where to put a comma. I misspell everything. Look how messed up my English is. Is there
After
anything?
challenge?
Well,
Yeah.
no. The computer does it for you. We live in a magical time. We live in a wonderful time. A generation ago, you didn't have these tools. Let the computer fix it for you. What should you do?
Right click.
Look how messed up this grammar is.
The biggest.
Look, big.
Oh, the
Look,
big.
see? The computer tells you where there's a mistake every time. Look at that. You see that? The computer is telling me to fix it. So, is there any excuse for misspelling any words when the computer will fix it for you? Absolutely not. Use your spell check. And on a Google Doc, it's even easier than the Microsoft Word. It jumps out at you and says, fix this, fix this. So don't just write, and you see all yellow and green and red and all in the computer saying, you have mistakes, you have mistakes. listen to the computer. The computer is not your enemy, it's helping you. So,
That's right.
right,
He's a
so,
teacher.
exactly. So as you write, fix these little mistakes. And then, once you have read it, okay, now I'm ready to turn it in. What should I do? What should I press when I'm ready to turn it in? Turn in. Boom. There it is. Look at that. And then the computer will ask you to be sure. Be sure.
Yep. Turn
It
in.
says one attachment will be submitted, and they're making sure you attach the right document. It's very easy to attach the wrong document. So just double check. Yes, I did it. Yes, I followed the instructions. Yes, I'm turning it in. There you go. There you go. So everything you do in this class is practice for English 111. Now, here we're a little more relaxed. You turn an assignment in 1 or 2 days late. I'm going to say, hey, I know you're busy. It's okay. When you get to college, what happens if you turn in something late?
Oh, it's a bad grade.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. So they actually say right up here, they actually say, there it is. All paper submissions are due by midnight on the due date. So if it's 1 o'clock in the morning, you're doing your homework, you already missed it. So that's why it's very important to keep us scheduled. That's it. Does anybody have any questions about this assignment?
Yes, I
Following-
do.
Absolutely. Give me your questions.
You wrote a sentence that doesn't include 45 or 6 words.
Oh, no, I was demonstrating how to start it. I didn't write an entire paragraph. I was demonstrating how to begin.
So do I need to write my opinion why is the biggest problem, or just to list?
Let's go back to the directions. Who can help? That's Monica, right? Or was that Anna?
No, it's Adila.
Adila, yes. Who can help? The answer to Adila's question is right here in the instructions. Who can help answer Adila's question?
The professor was showing us how to write, how to create a document for this assignment. And the instructions were like, we have to write what we have to improve to pass the class, but you have to make a paragraph just with 45 to 60 words. But in the example, he just write a sentences because he won't write a whole paragraph. He just was showing us how to create a document and how to turn it in.
That's correct, but that
Yeah.
wasn't Anila's question. Anila's question was different. Ask the question one more time, Anila.
Yeah, my question is how to create a paragraph with 45 or 60 words if I have just one the biggest problem, for example, create critical writing, and that's it.
Let's do that
So-
together. Let's do that together. Start writing your paragraph with a topic sentence. You've probably done this with Ashley, right? Topic sentence. Who knows what a topic sentence is? You did this with Ashley. I know you have. You're beginning your paragraph with your topic sentence. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm asking you, Anila,
I cannot understand what
this
you
is
mean.
this is the cultural difference that that I was talking about earlier. I'm not telling you what to write. I'm asking you to make your first sentence.
For example, my biggest problem when I am going to pass English 111 at the college is critical writing.
Okay, that's a perfect topic sentence. Now, I'm going to model with the sentence you gave me. Here we go.
Mhm.
So there it is. Okay. Here it is. So if I am Manila, my biggest challenge in English 111 will be critical writing. Okay. Now I ask you to write a paragraph. So you got a topic sentence. What's something else you should add after this?
To explain why.
Correct. Tell me
Okay.
why this is going to be your biggest challenge. Keep going.
I don't have enough vocabulary and
Perfect.
English practice to spoken practices.
Well, you tell me. Are we talking about, you're talking about critical writing?
I don't have enough vocabulary to explain my opinions,
Good.
and I have problem with construction of sentences.
Okay. Let's go to our word count.
Mhm.
And look at this.
Yep.
So I'm doing this live. When you see, what is the computer asking you to do right here? I wrote word for word what you said.
To correct.
Exactly. When it gives you a suggestion, take it. I have problem with construction of sentences. You need the particle. I have a problem with the construction of sentences. So now let's go back into our tools and see how far are we. We're not there yet. Look, you're halfway there.
Mhm.
Keep going into love. So between now and December, what would you like to work on?
I would like to read more articles or stories which include more adjective or adjective to in order to I will able to like painful.
Paint a full picture?
Yeah,
I'm not sure
that
what you mean. Okay, you're using an analogy there. All right. I will need, you're saying you don't have enough vocabulary. So you
Yes.
want to read more.
I
That's all
want
you
to
have
read.
to say.
Mhm.
Keep it simple. I will need to read more articles and stories to, keep going.
To speak in painful way.
Well, are we talking about speaking or critical writing? You keep going back to
Uh,
speaking, so I'm not sure what skill you're talking about.
Okay, to write more I don't know this
Keep
word.
it simple. Keep it simple. You want to write better, right? To write or what's another way to say to write better?
To be a good in critical writing.
Yeah, you could say, or to master, to improve.
Oh, to improve.
Critical writing. And tell me if this looks like a simple paragraph. Tell me if we have completed the assignment. We're almost there. I said 50 to 60 words. So that's a great start.
Okay.
Anila, do you feel
Yeah.
better now?
Yes, I do. Thank
Does it
you.
feel like you're welcome? Does it feel like it's too much for you?
No,
Sure.
no.
Absolutely not. You can do this. Every one of you can do this. You just have to try and follow the instructions. Everybody can do it. So, fantastic question. Fantastic work, everybody. So, I'm going to finish the class by showing you what we're going to do next week. We're going to begin chapter 1. Chapter 1. Anila was talking about her need to do more reading. That's what we're going to start doing right now. I'm going to switch to my document camera. I'm going to introduce you to the first page of chapter 1. Okay, everybody, here is my document camera. I'm going to get some better lighting for everyone. Hold on a second. Okay. There we are. There's a little shadow there. But this is the book. Longman Reading Academic Reading Series 5. And we're going to start right here with chapter 1. Can everybody see chapter 1?
Yes, we see.
Beautiful. Couldn't tell where I was from my view if it was upside down or not. Excellent. So the title, Sociology, How We Become Who We Are. Who would like to volunteer to read the definition of sociology?
Okay. Sociology, the scientific study of human society and human group behavior. The focus on sociology is the individual in interaction with others or as he or she moves in the social environment.
Very good, very good. Now, this book is excellent because it helps you practice what you need to do in college. So we'll start with just a few of the objectives. Winchell, you can keep going. Objectives to...
Okay, objective. To read academic tests, you need to master certain skills. In this chapter, you will preview a text and activate background knowledge. Use headings to create an outline and fill in the outline with details from the text. Create questions from the title and headings of a text to increase understanding. Guess the meaning of words from the context.
Perfect. Now I'm going to stop right there. This situation, this skill right here, guess the meaning of words from context. That's a skill that everyone will want to master when reading, because you're going to see always, when you read something new, you're going to see a lot of new words that you've never seen before, and you cannot stop every sentence or two to look up a new word in the dictionary. So you have to get in the practice of guessing the meanings of new words as they come. And that's something that we'll continue doing next class on Thursday. So you'll notice in Google Classroom, I told everybody to start reading page 2 and 3. We'll go over this in class on Thursday. And then complete the action for next week, complete the exercises on 4 and 5. So that'll be the next assignment. But first, everybody should finish the syllabus assignment. And that is it. I'm going to leave my document camera and call it a day. Perfect timing to finish the class. Okay, we're done for today. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank
Take
you.
care. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
See you next time.
Okay, thanks again.
Bye-bye.
I can teach you. Yes.